पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Let us read 7th verse, page 189. Page 189, 7th mantra. Tadyedam tarhi abhyakritam asi तन्नामरूपाभ्याम् एव व्याक्रियत असौ नामायमिदं रूप इति तद्इदम् अपि एतर्हि नामरूपाभ्याम् एव व्याक्रियते असौ नामयमिदं रूप इति स एषः इह प्रविष्टः आनखाग्रेभ्यः यथा क्षुरः क्षुरधाने अवहितः स्यात् विश्वम्भरो वा विश्वम्भरकुलाये तं न पश्यन्ति। Datta is there, put a dot. It should be tam, and kulaye is a one word, there is a gap, so it should be Vishwambhar Kulaye. Join the line please. Vishwambhar Kulaye tam na pashyanti akritsno hi sa prananneva प्राणो नाम भवति वदन् वाक् पश्यन् चक्षुः शृण्वन् श्रोत्रं मन्वानः मनः तान्यन्यस्यै एतानि कर्मनामानि एव सः यः अतः एकैकमुपास्ते न स वेद अकृत्स्नः येषः अत एकैकेन भवति आत्मा इति एव उपासीत अत्र एते सर्व एकं भवन्ति तदेतत्पदनीयम् अस्य सर्वस्य यद् अयम् आत्मा आत्मानेन ये तत्सर्वं वेद यथा वै पदेन अनुविन्देदं कीर्तिं श्लोकं विन्दते य एवं वेद. This mantra is telling about a very important aspect in Vedanta. Till iti word in the first line, third line is the sadhya, not sadhya, avyakrit prapanch, adhyarop is over. Topic is over where iti is there. Iti is indicated to indicate completeness of the topic. So the topic of avyakrit adhyarop, prapanch adhyarop is over by the word iti. I had been repeating how the subject has grown in this Upanishad. It has evolved, and you will always be connected to all the subject. Now, sa eshaha iha pravishtaha. This is a very, very serious line. In Sanskrit, there is two words. One is called tat, other is called etat. Tat is indicated for something far, and etat is indicated for something close. Like I say, tat vriksham, that tree. Etat pustakam, this. So etat form in the masculine is eshair. So that which was paroksh means which is the cause of the world, is behind the mind. See the point here. Saha eshaha. They are connecting. This is Mahavakya. There is oneness of that Brahman and then self. Iha. Iha means Sukshma, Sthul, Sharire. So in this body, mind composition, he entered. So I had taken some time in the morning to explain entry means what. So we had, I think, 4 or 5 options, and all the options were some flaw was there. So don't forget this. Pravishta has only meaning of uplabdhrit tattvam. It is obtained as Sakshi. Because the purpose of this Shruti is to take us out of the limited I. Therefore, Pravishtaha word is indicated to indicate uplabdhrit tattvam, a place of obtaining. So that which is the cause of the world is obtained as the Sakshi of the body, mind. And morning I told also what is the Sakshi. If you remember, Balyadishu Jagradadishu Tatha Sarvasvasthasvapi Vyavritta Svanuvartamanam Ahamityanta Spurantam Sada. So that unchanging consciousness, which is the illuminator of my childhood body, childhood mind, youthful body, youthful mind, old age, death also, after death also, which has not taken rebirth with the rebirth of the body, that which has been the constant self, that is mentioned as the Sakshi here, who is behind the intellect. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is Jivatma eva Paramatma. This is the one aspect of the discussion which went through Bhashya. You know why Bhashya is required? To increase Nishtha, commitment for the self. Generally, when we do, especially when I take the course, I take Bhashya each word. I am giving you the condensed form, but there I make them repeat each word. And then we go through grammar portion in that, how the Anvay will be formed. So all the Upanishad which was taught was with the Bhashya completely. That increases our all questions which you have is answered in some form or the other. Now, after understanding this point, what is the second part of the discussion in the Bhashya? When this meaning was given that he entered as the Sakshi, then first set of objection came from a layman. So he says, I can't accept Jivatma is Paramatma. Why you can't accept? He said Jivatma is many, Paramatma is one. So if I accept Jivatma is Paramatma, then Paramatma will become many. This is a very common Purupaksh that was added. Okay, so Bhashkar asked him, tell me, what is your definition about Jivatma? What do you think Jivatma is? That you are saying Jivatma is many. Well, Jivatma means the Atma in various bodies. Many bodies, many Atmas are there. So therefore the Jivatma is there. So this is a wrong definition of the Jivatma. Morning also I was telling, Jivatma is the Paramatma reflected in the mind is the Jivatma. So you think Jivatmas are many because you think mind is many. So many mind is equal to many Sakshi. You are thinking like that. Okay, my Sakshi and your Sakshi. Supposing you meditate, so you are meditating on the Sakshi. I am meditating on the Sakshi. So both are two Sakshi or only one Sakshi? All of us have one Sakshi. Huh? Malay, what is shortage? Let us have as many Sakshi as possible. कमी क्या है? सबको एक एक साक्षी कर देते हैं उसमें क्या? Problem will be, if my Sakshi is different from your Sakshi will become Drishya of my Sakshi. And my Sakshi will become Drishya of your Sakshi. And yad Drishyam tad jadam, yad jadam tad nashtam, yad nashtam tad mithya. Don't forget this formula. Only so fast you said, say slowly also. Important things you say so fast. So, yad Drishyam tad jadam. Yad jadam tad nashtam. Yan nashtam tan mithya. These are capsules of Vedanta. Tan mithya. Whatever is drishya will be inert. Whatever will be drishya will be inert. And whatever is inert, tan nashtam. Yad jadam tan nashtam. It is the nature of nasht means it will, the nasht word, मतलब खत्म हो जाना. In Hindi they say खत्म हो जाना. But Panini, in his Siddhant Comedy, you know how he defines adarshane. Nasht word, which beautifully he does, very beginning, he defines as adarshane, thing is not seen. And which is seen, not seen, that is mithya. Although these formulas appear very simple, but personally I speak, it really helps me a lot. Yadrishyam tan nashtam, yannashtam, yadrishyam cha jadam, yadjadam tan nashtam, yannashtam tan mithya. Only 6 words are there. So if you are a good student, which you are, so what you will do? You will put in a square. wherever you write it, you put in a square or you put line somewhere. There should be one copy of Paribhashik Shabd. So, or there only you put a square on the top, that is important. If you by heart it, you will be fine. If there are many Jivatmas, which you are saying, because you are saying many mind is there. So manyness of Jivatma is there because you have mind, many mind. Okay? You are saying many mind is there, and therefore you are saying many Jivatmas are there. Mind by itself is inert. Why? Because it is Drishya. Here's a by formula. Not only it is inert, it is mithya also. Manasam tu kim manase krite naim manasam marga arjavad. Manasam tu kim margane krite. So mind has come from consciousness. It is there. It goes back. Where? To consciousness. Please be careful. Mind which has come from consciousness and goes back into consciousness. Did it change the consciousness when it came? No. When cause is unchanging and effect comes out, effect is mithya. If mother has gone through modification and child came out, then child is also real, mother is also real. But when the cause remains unchanging and effect came out, ये तो बड़ी अजीब सी बात है. How can the unchanging cause create an effect? That means effect is actually not there. Any effect can come only when the cause changes really. But the consciousness which is the cause, it has not changed and the mind has come out, and therefore mind is not real. And the reflection in the mind is making many Jivatmas. So because of the many Jivatma, you are saying because of the mithya mind, and therefore you are wrong. So I am not saying that Jivatma is many. I am saying Jivatma is appearing to be many. And this has been said in Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter. Kshetragyam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. On every kshetra body, only one kshetra is there. Kshetragya is there. Eko deva sarva bhuteshu gudha. Lot of Shruti is there which says that only one consciousness is there. So this layman's objection, Nyaya will come later on. They are all sitting quietly. He said, first you discuss, then I am coming. He said, therefore many Jivatmas, this is not right. Now, second layman came up. He said, you say Jeev is full of sorrow. You say Jeev is Paramatma. Well, yes. But Jeev is full of sorrow. This will Paramatma will also be full of sorrows. Well, hello. You are equating the wrong thing. On the other hand, Ishwar is free from all sorrows. So by equating, you are making Paramatma also said, भाई हम तो अपना झेल लेंगे जो है. I will tolerate हमारा सुख दुख है. हमको क्यों आप ईश्वर के तरह बना रहे हैं? परमात्मा तो उसको प्योर रहने दीजिए. He said, see, when I say Jivatma and Paramatma is identical, I am not talking of three parts of the Jeev. Jeev is equal to consciousness plus the mind plus the reflected consciousness plus the body. When I say equality, equality is on the consciousness part and not all these three parts. This dukh belongs to these three parts and not to this part. Shall I say again? Jivatma is equal to pure consciousness, which is Paramatma, called Sakshi, plus the subtle body or the mind, plus reflected consciousness, plus the body. These four things are there. Where this comes? This comes in various places. This comes in Drik Drish Vivek. Sakshana purta bhanam lingam dehena sanyatam chichaya samavesha jivasyad vyavaharika. So when I equate both, I am not equating the whole thing as this. I am not equating whole thing as this. I am equating the consciousness part only. Those three parts are still samsari. I am not touching those parts. And therefore, while equating Jivatma and Paramatma, I am not making Paramatma Dukh Swarup. I hope you are clear. This is the second person's argument. And therefore, Jivatma, actually by thinking, you can either think Paramatma is samsari or you can think Jivatma is asamsari. So you are cutting the main portion and you are taking the wrong one. You can do this. This is called foolishness. And second is, it is like peeling the banana, throwing the banana and taking the skin. So that was not the purpose here. The Vedanta requires some intelligence. You need not be genius, but little intelligence, we all need it. Okay, too much my headache starts. No. So you have to, this was the second point. Third objection came up. All this is there. I will show you if you want. Third person came. He said, you may see Jivatma is Paramatma and free from sorrow. ये अच्छा है, सुनना इसको. Just because Shruti says Jivatma is Paramatma, why shall I believe? My pratyaksh is that Atma is full of sorrow. Whole day, 100 times I am sad. Achha? How? I slept. Then I am sad. Then I was eating food. I brought the plate and I went to take water. I came back, somebody else sat on the same place and ate my whole food. Now with the water I had to go again. This is very bad of him. 100 times I get sad in a day. How are you saying I have no sadness? कुछ भी आप बोलते हैं, बोले बट श्रुति से, अरे श्रुति छोड़ा, हमारा लाइफ तो हमको फेस करना है. लाइफ आई हैव टू फेस. श्रुति कहाँ फेस कर रही लाइफ? आई एम फेसिंग द म्यूजिक. आप श्रुति लगाए हुए हैं. हमारा दर्द समझिए आप. कह दिया आपने कि जीवात्मा परमात्मा मान ले क्या? चले, बिलीव व्हाट इज इट. Okay, I'll tell you how is it there. So one is more bigger experiences that I am sad than I am Sakshi. He said, this experience that I am sad is much more real for me. ये तो साक्षी अभी सुना यहाँ आके. Just now this camp 5-6 days back I heard Sakshi. Sometimes ऐसा लगता है कि साक्षी हो रहे हैं. I feel I am becoming Sakshi, but still that feeling is for a very short time. चाहतर तो हम दुखी रहते हैं भाई. ओके भाई, अब बोलो गुरुदेव आपको क्या बोलना है. I said, see, you can never say that dukh is with Atma. Well, why can't I say that? Tell me, dukh is directly experienced or not? Yes, it is experienced. If dukh is experienced, and Atma is also experienced with the dukh, then Atma will be pratyaksh. Pakdo is baat ko. It's a good point given in Bhashya. You know dukh. When you know dukh, anything which you know, you will be other than that or same. If you are other than that, anything which is known is other than you. How can Atma be of the nature of Dukh when Dukh is known? Dukh is an object of experience. And Atma is not an object of experience, because if object of experience, then who will be the subject of experience? Because you say, idam dukkham, this is the sorrow. You always say, I have sorrow. Anything which you have is other than you. I have book, I am not book. I have pen, I am not pen. You use the word I have sorrow. No? I have lot of sorrows in my life. Supposing you use like that. So how can you be of the nature of sorrow when you are possessing something? You can't possess your own self. This is what I says, Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. When you read the Bhashya, your head will bend. God's grace, one day you will read, I am sure. ये छोटा सा पॉइंट है, ये इसको निकाला उन्होंने. अब it is told in 1-2 paragraph. I am giving in one line because my time is short. I want to go to the next mantra. And every day I feel one more day has gone. कितना सुंदर पॉइंट है. Because how do you know that dukh is idam? Because you know this sorrow is there. Dukh is born out of the combination of situation, body, mind, samskar. ये मिली जुली सरकार है. Situation, body, mind, samskar. This is the area of sorrow. And इनका जो one who possesses that is called ahankar. Ahankar is drishyam. Now if this is the case, how can you say that dukh is the nature of Atma if the dukh is drishya vastu? Atma is never an object of experience. This is the third point. He is answering the third objection. Because it is always the subject of experience. Okay. क्या बोलते हैं भाई, हमको बहुत दुख था. नंबर 1 पॉइंट. अच्छा, दुख इज सतत और परिवर्तनशील. दुख इज नॉट अ कॉन्टिन्यूअस थिंग. आई वाज सैड बट नाउ आई एम लेस सैड. So don't say that an Atma is not asatat. Dukh is a varying factor. Same, I have seen people, they are sad somebody passed away or they lost something. Within 5 minutes there is quite a variation in the sorrow. At one time sorrow is very intense. After 3 minutes sorrow came down. Then 4th minute, sorrow almost gone, I laughed. 6th minute, again I came sorrow. It is not a satat anubhav. एक बात और सुन लो. The Atma has entry in deep sleep. Dukh does not have entry in deep sleep. Dukh is bahya and Sukh is more antar. If Atma and Dukh were same, then deep sleep would have sorrow and nobody would like to go into deep sorrow. Rather, we like to go into the deep sleep because sorrow is not there. Somebody is pain, bole give him some, tablet, pain reliever, etc. Let him sleep. Now you tell me dukh is bahya than Atma. Dukh is more external than the sorrow, than the Atma. Therefore, don't tell me that Jivatma is of the nature of sadness. And you are not sad all 24 hours. But you are existing all 24 hours. If two things are one, so both will be experienced same. Like color of my body and my body, you cannot separate. इसको बोलते हैं समवायी. These two things, color of my body and my body, I can't separate both. Anytime you will see me or my body, you have to see the color. It is white or it is dark or it is wheatish, it is fair. I can't separate my body's color with me. If this is the association of the dukh with the Atma, then you will always have the same intensity of sorrow. And therefore you cannot sleep. And therefore then nobody will be happy. So this was the third thing he refuted. I hope you are clear. Fourth point. Now came Bauddha, Kshanik Vigyanvadi. You remember that I told they say Atma comes. Kshanik Vigyanvadi, please not get my point. They say, every moment to moment there is a thought coming. In that thought there are two portions. One is aham vritti, other is idam vritti. Okay. Aham vritti is there. It is not an Atma. One part of the thought becomes I thought, other part of the thought becomes this thought. And this has come. After this goes away, another set comes up. Another aham, another iham, idam. That dries away. You cannot retrieve it. And other set comes up. Because of this high frequency, like the blade goes when it is high, you see that fan is like a plate. Because of the high frequency of aham going, you have the experience of continuity of aham. This is called Kshanik Vigyanvad. We had touched upon that. I am telling you, these philosophies never run away. They are very interesting. And it is important to read it because this may be our doubt also. And let us face what they say. Why should I have any fear? I'll face it. I will see what is there. So Kshanik Vigyanvadi was sitting there. He said, what did you say? A subject cannot be object. Well, yes. Well, I have an objection. Well, what objection is there? My objection is that the Atma can experience sorrow. Well, how can you are saying like that? Because same vritti is coming in two form. One is I, one is this. Same Atma has become I and this. Kshanik Vigyanvadi, Bauddha. So you said Atma cannot be experienced as an object. But Atma can experience itself. I am saying vritti alone becomes the subject and the object. So same Atma has taken two forms. And repeat, like the teeth is there, like this. It has taken two forms. It is the subject and it has become the object. If it was different Atma, then when idam goes, aham will remain. But I thought goes with this thought. Supposing I am saying this is a book. So what has happened? There is a knower-known relation formed between book and this I. See their argument. So my thought is, aham pustakam janami. I am knowing the pustakam. Okay. Then I saw this as a watch. Now that set has gone now. Now aham ghatikam janami. So another aham has come. So aham is knowing so aham is also there, and idam is also there. So aham is associated with the dukh. So both are close. And you can say, that this is my sorrow also. Like this is my knowledge. This aham and idam both are associated with each other. They are related. Knower of watch and watch both are simul together. Knower of book and book is together. Ye jugal hai inka. Got my point? This knower and known at a vritti level, they are not thinking about the consciousness which is beyond the vritti. They are thinking at a vritti level, both are same. I hope you are clear on this point. And therefore, it is possible that there is a knower and which not only knows that this is sorrow, as I said, this is my knowledge of a watch, there is a knower who says this is my sorrow. And therefore, this sorrow is associated with the Atma. Well, is yours over or still you have to say something? Did you get the argument? With every moment, one set is coming. Set of knower possessing the known. Possessing the. It is not knowing as distinctly. It is not knowing distinctly. It is not saying, there is not a knower who is saying, I know the watch, but I have nothing to do with the watch. I see my son and there is a knower, he is my son. He is not saying that this is son and I am just a seer of this son. There is a particular one born. Please be subtler. When I see my wife, I won't say that this is one wife, I have nothing, I am only the seer. In the childhood also I was a seer, youthful also, old age also. I have nothing to do with this wife. Rather, marriage itself means one knower is born, who is the wife, who is the knower of the wife. And not only knower, but related knower of the wife. Related knower is there. This is not a knower which does not know, it is a related knower. It is a relative knower. Whatever you introduce, well, she is my wife. Who is introducing? Knower. Not the Atma. And therefore you say, this is my sorrow. Oh. And therefore these philosophies become very popular sometimes because it is easy to identify. आपको लगेगा कि सही बोल रही है बात. This is right he is saying. Vedanta says, Bhashyakar said, completed? Well, yes, completed. Well, now you listen to what I say. I agree that with corresponding to certain thing one knower is born. And when another set comes up, do you know that I had another knower or not? 8 o'clock, bole yes. That means there is one another knower other than this knower which had not changed. I am talking about real knower and not the pseudo knower. There are two knowers. One is the unchanging knower and one is the momentary changing knowers. Mila, are you getting my point? One is the unchanging knower. One is the knower which is born at a particular time, who says it is my sadness, she is my wife, he is my son. When son is born, one knower is born. Marriage is there, one knower is born. Who may say that this is my sorrow, but actually speaking, this is not the one which is a real, because both are comparative. This is existing with respect to that only. And therefore this is not real. It is mithya. Mitha siddham. It is proved because of another. Well, what about that? Which one? What you are talking about? My dear, that knower has no part. In that there is no two. There is no, it doesn't exist with respect to something. It is niravayava. It is niransh. It is nishkalatvat. Nishkala means no part. How do you know there is no part? Because anything in part exists in space. In the deep sleep, this Atma is there. Haan ji, bilkul hai. If in the deep sleep it is there, that means it is without space. If it was with space, in deep sleep you cannot experience. This paperweight is in space. Therefore, to experience this paperweight, we have to have space. Atma, if it was in the space, it would not have experience in the deep sleep. And therefore, this knower, real one, it is avayavatvat, nishkalatvat. Therefore, you cannot have a part, I am knowing this, and therefore this is my soul. It is not the possessor of anything. I hope it is not too difficult.